What up? Hopsin, Raw. Let's get right into it. Look, Hot 16s. I'm not gonna lie. For what you expect from Hopsin, Hot 16s is actually a good intro. You know what I mean? There's a couple bars that don't really age well and are kind of just lazy. He says a line that goes like, "You weak niggas in the limelight tripping, but I won't let you slide like friction." You know, it's just a small punchline that I think is lazy. I have a battle rap ear, so I look at bars a lot. But it's not that bad. It's one of those lines that does suck, and I don't see why it's necessary to even try to force a bar there, but it doesn't ruin the song. It's a solid intro, 8 out of 10. Man, Sag My Pants is iconic. If you're a Hopsin fan, you already know it's iconic, nostalgic, and it's controversial. He disses a bunch of people on here. Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Drake, Soulja Boy. I love the song from start to finish outside of the Soulja Boy line. That Soulja Boy line is a big pause. You could go without that line. So that is what it is. Now we go to You Are My Enemy. It's his first showcase of singing on the album. He slowly calls out people he's had issue with in the past. Not really the craziest thing. I'm not a fan of the song. It's kind of slow tempo, and he's kind of like, he has like little background noises where he's like flipping a page, looking at who to diss next on the song. It's kind of cheesy, but not the worst song. I kind of skip through this song when I listen to this album, but I give it a quick 6 out of 10. Trampoline. Trampoline is an amazing song. I love the beat. The beat is amazing. Hopsin's flow on this is really good. It's really vibey. It's honestly one of the best tracks on this. And, it's just good. Like, what he showcases for his skill and his talent, like, he goes all out on this song. Like, just all around, from instrumental to his vocals to the flows, like, super dope. I love Trampoline, one of the better songs on this album for sure. I'm Not Introducing You. Now, I'm gonna try not to be so biased with this song, but I have a personal connection with this song because I used to listen to this when I was like 12 years old, and I used to think this was like an amazing song, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of like biased towards the nostalgic factor to this, so. But outside of my personal bias, the song has a great hook, you know what I mean? He showcases probably some of the best of his singing ability on this project, at least up until this point. He does have a little bit of like some corny like input. It's kind of funny, like in a comedic way. It's corny, but it's comedic, you know what I mean? And honestly, the main thing that got me coming back was the chorus. It's like, "I'm not introducing you to mama." Like, you know what I mean? That I love that. You know what I mean? I love Hopsin for that. You know what I mean? Not a song I drool over or anything, but I do love the hook. The hook is so good on this song, so I do come back literally just for the hook. So that's a good 7 out of 10 for me, just based off the hook alone. You know what I mean? I Can't Decide is like one of the conscious songs on the album, where he basically talks about this dude named Tyrone and how he's picking up bad stuff, like a bad lifestyle, and he's like talking about shooting guns and like doing some type of crazy stuff. And he tells like this whole story where he's just making bad choices. And this is one of the songs I kind of like Hopsin for. I think this is a good song to put on the album, you know what I mean? Not a song I come for, like I go out my way to listen to, but it definitely is a song that I enjoy to listen to, you know what I mean, when it comes to listening to a whole project. So, just the fact that Hopsin can showcase his ability to storytell, I think it actually helps the project be even more solid. But on a song level on its own, I'm not really the biggest fan. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And then we got I Am Raw, where I think Swizz is on here. I usually skip this song, I'm not going to lie to you guys, which is kind of funny because it's kind of like the self-titled, song, like the album. It's like the album's name Raw, and then he has the song I Am Raw. I usually skip the verse. I mean, the song, because Swizz's verse is not good. I don't like Swizz. This is gonna be a pattern that you see within, my opinion on this album. I don't like Swizz. Especially when he makes like the Pornhub references. Like, I think that's cringe, bro. Like, I'm assuming they're young adults at this moment in time in their life, but still cringe, So honestly, I give this song like a 6 out of 10, bro. I'm not a fan of this song, to be honest with you. And then we have Nocturnal Rainbows. I don't care what nobody says. Listen, I don't care what you say. I don't care what your friend says, your neighbor says, or what Anthony Fantano says. Nocturnal Rainbows is one of the greatest underground records of all time. You understand me? Of all time. You know what I mean? That hook, bro, iconic, bro. That hook is so iconic. Like, I don't care what the lyric. I know he's talking about the Illuminati and all this and that. I don't care, bro. I will listen. I will bump this song in my car, bro. That's how much I like this song. That's how much I like this song. This is a underground classic. Classic. I don't care what nobody says, bro. Classic, honestly. So 10 out of 10. I don't care. 10 out of 10. Man, look. Amazing beat. Amazing tempo. Great chemistry from Hopsin and Swizz. But there's only one issue.
So I'm a flop. Nah, that's where you guys are wrong. I shit on niggas, that's why I rap with a diaper on.
Oh, and don't think I forgot about you, Swizzy.
Hey, yo, SWIZZ and add another. My swagger makes your girl want to cut like upper.
Like, really? Really, Swizz? Cut like upper? What does that even mean? Sadly, those bars don't make the song worse, which sucks because outside of those bars, it's actually a great song. Like, the chemistry they had within that song is actually really good. But, the bars do hinder the song a little bit because it makes me kind of cringe, you know what I mean? So that's a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. Then we go to Heather Nicole. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I hate this song. Always hated this song. Yeah, it has like a little moment in the hook where it's like good, kind of. You know what I mean? But everything is too edgy for me. I'm not the target audience for this song, obviously. You know what I mean? So I don't like this song at all. Other people could probably find some appreciation with it. Not me. This is a 3 out of 10 song. I think this song is so corny, cringe. Like, this is not a good song in my opinion. So this is a 3 out of 10 in my opinion. And then we go to the next song, and honestly, the stuff that was said in this song could get Hopsin canceled in today's world. You know what I mean? But I don't see the point in making this song because it kind of contains content similar to the track that we already listened to earlier on this album, which is You Are My Enemy. And that was kind of like a skippable track in my opinion. But this one's even more skippable because it kind of feels like I'm listening to the same song twice, just a different melody. You know what I mean? So very skippable in my opinion. I don't really go out of my way to listen to this, but it doesn't ruin the album or it doesn't hinder it in any way. It just feels like empty. You know what I mean? So I kind of skip this track a lot, but 6 out of 10. I'm Not Crazy. Now here's another one. Man, this one, I want to like this song. I do want to like this song, but it has Swizz on here and Cryptic Wisdom. Oh my goodness. I don't like neither of those cats, bro. I don't like Cryptic Wisdom at all. At all. I actually dislike Cryptic Wisdom more than I dislike Swizz. So, oh shoot. My lights are flickering. But yeah, I don't like Cryptic Wisdom at all. So nothing else for me to say here. I think it's kind of like a cringe song as well. So this is a 5 out of 10 for me. Then we move on to Where Will I Go? It has a great hook and a great intro to the song. A great song with good substance. And it's basically like a big self-reflection on who he is at this point in his life and what he really means to people. I think it's a good song for him to really it's a good song. I wish Hopsin would do this more in today. I think he has, but I think, you know, Hopsin needed songs like this to stay versatile, you know what I mean, and not stay one dimensional. So I do like this song a lot because it actually shows a lot of maturity for Hopsin's, you know, younger projects, you know, and I really enjoy listening to it. It's actually one of the better songs on the project. You know, I give this song an 8 out of 10. Baby's Daddy. Look, the lyrics are ghetto. I'm gonna be honest with you. They hood. They talk about it's like a story. It's like a comedic story though. A comedic story of a girl who got pregnant by somebody and now she wants to get back with Hopsin, and you know he kind of is bashing her. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. I can't take this song serious. It's funny, comedic, but I tend to skip it just because I can't take it serious. So it is what it is with that, man. I give it a 6 out of 10 though. And then we go on to Blood Energy. This is one of the songs where I kind of had an appreciation for it as time went on. You know, I really didn't like this song when I was younger. I thought it was a skippable track, but now as an adult, I kind of realized Hopsin was trying to be more versatile with how he was delivering his music. You know, it has a dark instrumental, it has a really cool hook, and a really dope fast flow. And it's not like one of those fast flows where they're just rapping fast. It's actually one of those fast flows where he's actually coherent. He has a quick flow, and you understand what he's saying. So I really do like that as well. And it's one of those songs where Hopsin experiments with his horrorcore topics, and he actually kills it, dude. Like, it's actually a really good song. So just for that, an 8 out of 10, man. Good song. And then we go to the last track on the album, which is Pillow Man. Pillow Man is one of my personal favorite underrated Hopsin songs, bro. Like, this is just an underrated song in general. You know, it has the second best hook in the whole album. It has good substance. It has a dreamy instrumental with great layering within the song. And, you know, honestly, like, I know I said I wasn't going to try to let nostalgia really get to me, but this song really, I used to listen to this song, like, religiously growing up. You know what I mean? It meant a lot to me as a kid. So I'm very biased towards this song. I really enjoy it. You know, I think it's a great way to finish the project, you know. And overall, I enjoyed this, man. It's a great album. I love this album. And, you know, I wish Hopsin, you know, would still make music like he used to. Not like the substance, but at least be active with the music. You understand me? And I wish, I just wish people would look at this album in a brighter light, because I seen Anthony Fantano bash on this album. You know what I mean? But I think the fact that this album is very versatile, and, you know, it actually explains and goes through different phases of his life. And it's honestly, like, it's not like one dimensional. You know what I mean? It has different moods to different songs. And I know I went through this album and I kind of gave low ratings to some of the songs, but I think that's what makes this album so good, is that it's not just a bunch of songs where it's like a linear way. You know, you have a heartbreak song, you have a song for, you know, crazy lunatics who believe in the Illuminati. You know, you have people who, you know, you have a conscious song on here. You have, you know, a song that, you know, he kind of has self-reflections with. You know, he's talking about his struggles with his life. You know, it's not just a personal album where he's talking about different, you know, things that's going on in his life. He really captures a lot of emotions. You know, he even has a horrorcore song on this album. Like, I really do think what makes this album so good is because he has imperfections in this album. You know, without the imperfections in the album, I don't think the album would be as great. You know, but I tend to come back to this album because it has a lot of high points and it has a lot of low points. And I think that's what makes this album beautiful. You know what I mean? That it has these imperfections, and these imperfections make this album good. I don't know if you guys know what I'm trying to say when I say that, but, you know, it's because of these imperfections that I believe this album is a great album. But yeah, that's all I got to say, man. That's Hopsin Raw in 2025. You know, I hope I catch you guys again. You know, like and subscribe. Check me out, you know, but we'll end it there. See ya.